I sailed for a few days. El Perito had provided me with abundance of food and wares for my journey. The only thing I had to contend with was the boredom. The boat had finally docked on the beach. I walked up the beach to a local fishing town. I talked to several locals. One creature told me about her. I warned the creature until I found him stabbing crabs with a sharpened stick. After a bit of persuasion and a jug of sake, he told me a tale. He informed me that he wasn't always known as the Hermit. In fact, he used to be known as E-Dee, which was Pingonese for the best. At least that's what I translated. My Pingonese was rough. That was not his real name either, but he wasn't the most pleasant, so I didn't pry. He told me how he attained his title.
I was a young child back in the village. And all I ever dreamed about being a great martial artist. However, my skills needed work, as Yashi, as well as the other kids, would regularly beat me up. I took a punch to the face. The other kids laughed. As Shaji goaded me,
Get up!
I refused to get up. I just cried.
Pathetic.
Shaji turned to the other kids.
Come on, the weakling doesn't want to fight anymore.
The other kids walked away, laughing. While I laid on the ground, crying. Once I finished crying, I walked the village alone, as I always did. I looked into the night sky and saw a shooting star. I made a pledge.
I swear, I will be the greatest martial artist in all of Pong.
That was the beginning of my quest. I tried Dage, the village drunk. I found him stumbling through the village. Despite his reliance on drink, he was quite a martial artist. I had to see if he would train me. I walked up to him with a big smile on my face.
Greetings, Master Dage.
I had made the mistake of surprising Dage, one of his drunken students,
Ah, who goes there?
and I caught several punches. To my smiling face, I dragged myself home. Swearing that I would find a master that wasn't Dage. As I grew into a man, so did my desire to become a great martial artist. A monastery had been built on the outskirts of the village. I knew monks trained in martial arts. I would find a perfect teacher there. I knocked on the door to the gate of the monastery. The gate opened. I stood up, tall and proud, ready to be embraced by my new master and my fellow students. A monk peeked his head out behind the gate door. A monk peeked his head out from behind the gate.
Can I help you?
I smiled at the monk. I am here to join the monastery. The monk nodded.
Oh,
The monk shook his head.
no.
I was taken aback.
What?
Goodbye.
But I...
The gate door slammed in my face. I stared at that door in shock. I was so distraught from the rejection that I made my way home. I climbed a mountain on the outskirts of town. I had made my home in a cave there. I had gotten halfway up to my cave when I noticed something looking down from my perch. I could see the monks training in the monastery's courtyard. I just watched as they drilled punches and kicks. It filled my heart with sadness until I realized something. I could see them, they couldn't see me. I started my training at moment. I managed to train with the monks for months until I awoke in my cave with a smile. I ran to my training spot. When I got there, I found Sifu Ganju waiting for me.
Sifu Pianju?
I bowed to show my respect.
You honor me with your presence.
The Sifu smiled at me.
You honor me by enjoying my training.
I laughed nervously.
I am sorry, Sifu. I just really wanted to learn and...
The Sifu held up his hand to silence me.
I understand.
You do?
Of course. I've seen it so many times in so many young faces, eager to learn the art. I am curious.
Sifu Ganju got into a fighting stance.
What have you learned so far?
I was surprised by the Sifu's sudden stance
Sir,
and the kick to my head. I really don't remember much after the beating I received. I just remember being on the ground. I laid on the ground, battered and broken, as Sifu Ganju stood over me.
You need to understand. I make my living teaching the art to rich children. I've come to expect a certain lifestyle in payment. You have stolen from me. Lucky for you, I am not that petty and cruel. So consider this a warning.
He knelt down and whispered in my ear.
But try it again, and I will end you.
He gave me a pat on the face
Glad we had this talk.
and walked off. From that moment on, I stopped looking for a master and decided to be my own mentor. I acquired many scrolls on the art, and all my training consisted of challenging others. And winning some of them. Life was my sensei, and it would give me my ultimate test before I knew it. I was walking through town to get supplies when I noticed people running by.
huh?
Naturally, I had to investigate. I noticed a crowd gathered at the beach. I pushed my way through the crowd to see what the commotion was about. I made my way to the front of the crowd, where I saw down the hermit of the beach fighting a challenge. Now these the Pingonese were that was his name, his crab nature. You'll see now. Was part of the crowd people known as the hermit. They were such isolated creatures that they would never tell anyone their real name, not even giving up that of their race. They were naturally skilled, able to defeat any opponent and I smiled to myself as the old crab man sounded
Oof!
sending the would-be champion to the ground. I really take me seriously. After the crowd dispersed, I followed the old crab man. It was night as I followed the old crab man back to his home. I followed him quietly, saw his old ears. Do crab people have ears? Anyway, wouldn't hear me. I had stepped on a pile of seashells. I stopped in my tracks as I watched the old crab man stop. I quickly jumped behind a nearby rock and hid for a moment. I didn't hear anything from the old crab man, so I peeked around the rock to find he was gone.
What the?
Why are you following me?
I spun around to see that Brownie was standing behind me. I don't know how he got there, but it didn't matter. I couldn't lose my composure.
I have come to challenge you, venerable one.
Another one of you? Don't you have anything better to do?
I stood up to him with my chest puffed out with pride.
I have trained myself my entire life to fight such a master.
Really?
I nodded.
Yes.
That's sad.
I was taken aback.
What?
Brownie shook his head at me and laughed.
I mean, come on, boy. Haven't you learned a trade? Haven't you ever kissed a girl? Haven't you had a life, boy?
I have devoted my life to the fighting arts and...
And you need to prove you are the best. Yes. I've heard this before.
I got into a fighting stance.
Then let's skip the conversation and fight.
Brownie stared at me for a moment before saying
No.
and walked away from me.
What?
I watched the old crab man walk away in shock. I would not be shamed to be ignored by that old crab. He would fight me. I would see to that. I just had to persuade him. I just had to persuade him. Now he was in the ocean, grabbing fish from the bottom. And threw the fish into a sack. He turned around with a smile of satisfaction on his face, which faded when he saw me holding his fish sack.
No!
I smiled. I stared him in his eyes as I emptied his bag. Tossed the bag aside and dusted off my hands.
Fight me!
Down he was scared, but walked away. I was furious.
Ugh!
I wouldn't give up. I wouldn't give up. Now he was using his claws to trim upon side. The old crab man stepped back to admire. He smiled at the fine job he did. His smile faded as I admired his work.
Nice job.
Then I proceeded to pick the pot one side.
Yeah!
It went sailing through the air till it crashed into the rock. Down he stared at the broken pot and the monster he died down. He turned his attention back to me. I cracked my knuckles with a cocky smile on my face. Got myself in a fighting stance.
Fight me!
The old crab man merely stared at me and walked away again.
Ugh!
I would not be denied. I would have my fight. Brownie was in his cave, decorating it with seashells and pretty stones he found. Brownie stepped back and admired his work.
Now to get some food.
He left his cave without realizing that I was watching. I walked in to see Laomi's decorating job. I cracked my knuckles before I decided to add my own touch. I watched as the old crab man entered his cave. Laoni looked at my work in shock. I had rearranged his shells and pretty rocks to read "Fight Me."
Fine. Do you hear me? I'll give you your damn fight.
I was still hiding close by, so I heard the old crab man accept my challenge.
Finally!
Night had fallen over the beach. I waited for my opponent on the beach. I was getting annoyed, thinking he wouldn't show, until I saw him scuttling towards me.
I thought you would never come. I thought you would be too scared.
Can we just get this over with?
Gladly.
I charged towards the old crab man, and with all my might, I delivered a punch to the old crab man's chest, and was shocked as the blow had no effect on him.
Huh?
He just stared at me.
That's it?
I was speechless. Laoni shook his head.
Pathetic.
His eyes stopped, stared right into my eyes, as a vicious smile crossed his face.
This is how you do it.
Down he raised his claw into the air with a cackling laugh, and much to my confusion,
What are you?
with a lightning quickness, he plunged his claw into his own chest. I stared in shock as the old crab man started to fall.
No!
I ran and caught my opponent before he hit the ground, as if he were an old friend. Although I wanted this fight, I was distraught.
Why? Why would you do this?
Laoni looked up at me with his dying eyes stalks.
I wanted you to understand what being the best is.
I shook my head in confusion.
I did not beat you.
I know that. You know that. No one else knows that.
But your reputation.
Reputation? I don't care about reputation. I just wanted you stupid humans to leave me alone. Now you will.
I could only stare at the dying old crab man in confusion.
Thank you.
The old crab man broke into laughter as he shook his head.
You dumb boy. I didn't do you a favor. This is revenge.
I thought I couldn't be more confused. I was wrong.
What?
With one final laugh and a few words,
You'll see.
he died in my arms. I buried my friend by his cave. I awoke the next day. I had moved into my opponent's old home.
Su Hao Di.
I exited my new home.
Oh,
As I saw Gong 9 of the challenge before, the lead challenger pointed at me with intensity. His eyes.
I am here to challenge the champion.
I now I was filled with rage and fear. My new position in life.
I had bid Mr. Zhao Hao Di a goodbye and made my way to the border country of Pong. I tentatively entered into the land of Pong. I had heard from the Pingonese people that it was full of Onaga. The Onaga were, as I was told, a violent people that Pong had a strained truce with. I would have to be careful. As I made my way down a path, I was surprised by some Onaga brigands. At first, the brigands wished to rob me, but they soon discovered that I traveled rather light. There was discussion over making a meal out of me, which, needless to say, I wasn't in agreement with. I blurted out my mission to them, which I doubted they would care, but I was very pleasantly surprised by their interest. In fact, they told me of their greatest legend.
Many years ago, Tagoda was one nation at war with one giant demon. Indenaru Chichi Onaga rampaged across the countryside, much to his dark delight. Then came a day that Indenaru would regret. The people of Tagoda gathered together.
We must band together to defeat this menace.
The army marched to meet Indenaru head-on. They battled the giant and managed to wound him. Indenaru ran from the battle. Indenaru happened upon an isolated farm in the mountains. There was a family of farmers. There was a family of farmers. Indenaru rested on his new farm. Indenaru had lost a lot of blood and size. He had not noticed that his blood had gotten on all the animals. His blood fell on the chickens, and the chickens changed into what would be known as the rooster Onaga. His blood fell on the pigs, and the pigs changed into the pig Onaga. His blood fell on the goats, and the goats changed into the goat Onaga. His blood fell on the oxen, and the oxen changed into the ox Onaga. His blood fell on the dogs, and the dogs changed into the dog Onaga. His blood fell on the horses, and the horses changed into the horse Onaga. His blood fell on the rabbits hiding amongst the crops, and the rabbits changed into the rabbit Onaga. His blood fell on the rats hiding amongst the farm, and the rats changed into the rat Onaga. Indenaru Chichi Onaga slept,
Master!
until a voice caused him to awake. To find himself facing his creations. A rooster Onaga stepped forward.
I am Ondori, leader of the Rooster Onaga.
Ondori knelt and bowed before Indenaru.
Here to serve you.
A pig Onaga stepped forward.
I am Buta, leader of the Pingonaga.
And knelt and bowed before Indenaru.
Here to serve you.
A goat Onaga stepped forward.
I am Yagi, leader of the Goat Onaga.
And knelt and bowed before Indenaru.
Here to serve you.
An ox Onaga stepped forward.
I am Bushi, leader of the Oxen Onaga.
Knelt and bowed before Indenaru.
Here to serve you.
A dog Onaga stepped forward.
I am Inu, leader of the Dog Onaga.
And knelt and bowed before Indenaru.
Here to serve you.
A horse Onaga stepped forward.
I am Uma, leader of the Horse Onaga.
And knelt and bowed before Indenaru.
Here to serve you.
A rabbit Onaga stepped forward.
I am Usagi, leader of the Rabbit Onaga.
And knelt and bowed before Indenaru.
Here to serve you.
A rat Onaga stepped forward.
I am Zazumi, leader of the Rat Onaga.
And knelt and bowed before Indenaru.
Here to serve you.
Indenaru smiled at his children, yet his army. But his smile faded as he realized it would not be enough.
I need more forces.
Indenaru went on his journey to strengthen his army. Indenaru, after some rest and healing, made his way to a nearby jungle. Indenaru felt he needed scouts he could use to gather information. Indenaru found a tribe of monkeys and thought to himself, Indenaru had his children capture some monkeys. The monkeys were brought before Indenaru, who laughed in delight. Indenaru produced a knife and cut his hand, and splashed his blood on the monkeys. And the monkeys started to change into the monkey Onaga. One monkey Onaga walked up to Indenaru.
I'm Saru, leader of the monkey Onaga.
And knelt and bowed before him.
Here to serve you.
After Indenaru thought about it, he felt he needed some assassins, and who would make better assassins than snakes. Indenaru and his children searched through the jungle. Indenaru and his children found a den of snakes. Indenaru's children held the snakes before Indenaru. Indenaru smiled.
This will do.
Indenaru cut open his hand
Oh,
and splashed his blood on the snakes. The snakes started to change until they became the snake Onaga. One snake Onaga stepped forward
I am Hibai, leader of the Snake Onaga,
and knelt and bowed.
here to serve
Indenaru's smile broadened.
perfect.
Indenaru felt he needed one more animal for his army. He needed the tigers. They would make great generals for his army. Indenaru's children searched the jungle for tigers. The tigers were a little harder to catch, but eventually they were detained. Indenaru's children brought the cages of tigers to me. Indenaru smiled.
Excellent.
Indenaru took his knife and slashed his hand
Ah,
and sprayed his blood on the tigers. The tigers started to change until they became the tiger Onaga. The other Onaga opened the cages. One tiger Onaga stepped forward to Indenaru
I am Tora, leader of the Tiger Onaga,
and knelt down and bowed.
here to serve you.
Indenaru's smile broadened.
Perfect.
Indenaru's thoughts were interrupted by the sound of giant wings. Indenaru looked up to see a giant golden dragon flying overhead. Indenaru knew what his next children would be. Indenaru and his children followed the dragon to a mountain. Indenaru and his children climbed the mountain. Indenaru and his children made their way to the cave. Indenaru strode ahead.
Wait here, my children. I will dispatch the dragon on my own.
Indenaru's children looked amongst each other nervously.
Master,
Indenaru glared at the Gusta Onaga leader impatiently.
What?
Ondori looked to Buta, the leader of the pig Onaga, nervously. Buta looked towards his father nervously.
That might be a bad idea, Master.
Is that so?
Buta looked away from Indenaru's gaze in fear. Soyagi stepped forward.
we are grateful for your gift to us all.
The other Onaga murmured amongst themselves. Indenaru gave his children a suspicious look.
What are you getting at?
Ushi, leader of the Ox Onaga, stepped forward nervously.
Your gift has trained you, Master.
Indenaru shook his head in confusion and disbelief.
Would someone just come out with it?
Inu, leader of the Dog Onaga, stepped forward nervously.
Haven't you noticed the change, Master?
Indenaru's frustration grew.
Out with it.
Uma, leader of the Horse Onaga, stepped forward nervously.
Master, the more of us you make, the less of you there is.
Indenaru's frustration with his children reached a boiling point.
What are
Realization came to Indenaru. He had finally noticed that he no longer was towering over his children. In fact, he was looking up to them.
How did...
Usagi, leader of the Rabbit Onaga, stepped forward and knelt and bowed.
We feel your pain, Master.
Nezumi, the leader of the Rat Onaga, stepped forward, knelt, and bowed before his master.
The Rat Onaga shall investigate the cave and learn all we can.
Saru, leader of the Monkey Onaga, stepped forward, knelt down, and bowed before his master.
The monkey Onaga will coax the dragon out.
Hibai, leader of the Snake Onaga, stepped forward, knelt down, and bowed before his master.
The Snake Onaga will weaken the dragon with our venom and surprise attacks.
Tora, leader of the Tiger Onaga, stepped forward, knelt down, and bowed.
The Tiger Onaga will finish the dragon.
Indenaru smiled at his children with pride.
You fill me with pride, my children. I can't.
Unfortunately, his proud moment was interrupted by the dragon coming out of its cave. It snapped at Indenaru, swallowing him whole. The Onaga stared in shock at the dragon. The Onaga attacked the dragon. The battle raged for days. Until the Onaga defeated the dragon. The Onaga opened the dragon's belly and pulled their master out. Hidenaru's children stood over him as the life was fading from him.
I will not live long enough to see your victory over my enemies, which is my regret. But I know you will be victorious one day. Now spread my blood on the dragon eggs.
Hidenaru's children spread his blood on the dragon's eggs. The Onaga watched in awe as the eggs hatched. And out came the dragon Onaga. One of the dragon Onaga stepped forward and knelt and bowed before their brethren.
I am Ryu, leader of the Dragon Onaga, here to serve my master and brethren.
The Onaga fought with the army that had wounded their father. After many years, the Onaga established their own country of Pong.
It was an interesting tale, although I believe very little of it. And it was very brass tacks and full of propaganda, but a story is a story. Besides, it kept the Onaga from robbing me or eating me.